Right marijuana, that is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Marijuana is referred to as Mary Jane, pot, weed, or tea.
That Michoacan, man, Acapulco Gold, man. I even smoke that tight stick.
We're smoking reefer.
The realest thing smoking on the internet. The Podheads Web Show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4:20 on a Wednesday, and you're in the Cypher with the Podheads. I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Frank the Tank, and as always, I'm hanging with my very best buds, JB Perez.
So what's up? That's right. As always, we're the Podheads Web Show at the Podheads Web Show on all the social media platforms. You're listening to us on 102jams.com. Thank you very much. We have another great episode for you guys today. Can't wait. See Money, what's up?
I already cheated on the, as we always do, because it's been a weird morning. Both my coffee machines broke, and the dog crapped on the floor. So I just, sorry guys. What's up, everybody?
He's over already.
Yeah.
Guys, it's a big day. It's a special day for me in particular because the 244th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. So, hoorah, Semper Fi. Happy birthday to all my fellow Devil Dogs out there. And also, Veterans Day just passed as well. I just want to give a shout out, put one up in the air for all the veterans out there, especially those Devil Dogs out there. Semper Fi. That being said, it's going to be a great show, guys. We're going to talk about a few particular cases or that's going around the media where, so-called OD or basically people getting in trouble with cannabis or THC for that matter. So we want to talk about that and the effects that it has on different people. But before we get into things, gentlemen, shall we do this as we always do?
Yeah, we shall. Well, you and I, Frank the Tank, can see Money already.
See Money, jumped the gun.
Cheated already.
I'm smoking green, bro. I'm finishing up.
Brother.
I'm finishing up the last of I'm down to scraps of the first green that I bought in like 2-3 weeks. Cause remember, I caved. I was trying to go on a tolerance.
You too, you
break.
weakling.
Yeah, I'm weak. The flesh is weak. But I went on this little tolerance break. Only lasted about 2.5 weeks. I'm getting down to the bottom barrel of my bud. But you know what? It did make a difference because, dude, it would take me like a blunt or two just to feel anything. Now, like a bowl, and I'm wrecked.
So you took a tolerance break, and your effect is extra. I'm right there with you, Frank the Tank. Look, I got Rastacana back in the house. I had a bunch of wax and batter and all the different types of concentrates. I've been doing that. We're bringing her back, and you're right. It just feels extra. Flower just feels just the right thing, the right way it should feel.
Right? It does.
Yeah, it
all
does.
natural, man.
Maybe it's just a thing for me, but I went on that little stint of just flower for the week or 2 weeks, whatever, and I felt a certain way. And then yesterday, went to a buddy's house, did the smoker game thing, and watched Joker, which was pretty awesome. Oh. And what I'm getting at is he just had everything laid out. He went to a dispensary over the weekend out of state, and he had these peanut butter chocolate 10 milligram edibles, and he had live sugar resin, and then he had forgot what kind of haze to finish it off, and he was just like, try this in order. And dude, when you do all of that and then the edible kicks in maybe 30 minutes later, and edibles don't really affect me, but I could totally tell that it did something. Maybe it sustained it, but I was floating, bro.
But you felt good? You didn't feel any kind of way?
Oh, yeah. I didn't feel weird. I didn't get anxious. I didn't feel that death feeling, that anxiety. Dude, I really just felt like lifted, elevated. Didn't really want to talk too much. I just kind of sat there and would stare at the smoker and just, But what do you guys think about that? Do you think that there's like a thing if you do this, then this, then this?
Yeah, it affects, and again, we'll talk about it later in the show, but it's 3 different forms of THC, of consuming THC. So your body processes them at different times, in different ways. It enters your bloodstream and therefore your brain at different times in different ways. And apparently your homeboy just figured out the best way for him and for you to kind of get it up there and sustain it without any drops or highs. So it affects everybody differently. And you find that's a good combination for them.
So like, take some dabs, smoke a blunt, and then eat a brownie or something. And
yeah,
I've never tried anything like that, like mixing it up crazy like that. I mean, I guess I've tried edibles and wax and bud in the same day.
You told me, Frank the Tank,
like
that you would smoke flower and then hit a dab because that would sustain you, right?
Yeah.
It would have worked the other way around.
True,
so add
yeah,
a brownie in there and just imagine, right?
Jeez.
Well, that's what was interesting. It was the peanut butter chocolate chip thing. Then it was a dab of sugar resin. Then it was a bowl of some good flour, and we were good for 2 hours. And my things with this pen now that I'm good for 10 minutes, bro, and I got to hit it again. And I was good for 2 hours. So there's definitely something to it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, and that's what we're going to talk about today, right? The different ways it affects people. I mean, we've got a pretty crazy story that C Money brought up about grandma at Disney. You got NBA players getting into trouble. And, you hear about sports players getting into trouble, but this one was the first kind of report that I heard of somebody actually having a physiological reaction that was scary. But before we get into the main stories, JB, I got to know what's going on in the Week in Weed.
That's right, Frank the Tank. You're excited. I'm excited. We're all excited, baby. It's time for the Week of Weed.
Wherever you are, wherever you go, whatever you're smoking on, the news that matter to you, the news you want. It's the Week in Weed.
All right, guys, the Week in Weed, hashtag the Week in Weed, where I bring you the latest and greatest cannabis news from around the world through the medium of internet. That's where I get my stuff. But I do the fact checking, and it's mostly legit. So, anyways, we've been doing Week of Weed now for a long time. I think 28 episodes, 28 weeks. So a lot of cannabis news, but surprisingly, I don't know if surprisingly is the right word, but it's slowing down. The good weed news that I think is important is not it's not happening. So I decided to kind of bring you more about the events going around the world in respect to cannabis. And I wanted to start in the Week in Weed as the first headline of every episode is to bring you the schedule of marijuana events going around the world. All right, guys, so I'm just going to read out here the list of the scheduled events coming here for the next couple weeks. In Little Rock, Arkansas, you have the Cannabis Business episode November 13th and 14th. Those same days, big ups to Miami, the Florida Cannabis Expo is happening November 13th and 14th. And right here in Orlando, Florida, or right where Frank the Tank is, the CBD Expo Tour East is happening November 14th and 15th. There's a lot more, and I'm going to bring you a good list coming up in the next couple Week in Weeds. But just understand that a lot of things are happening right now for cannabis all over the world. But guys, I'm looking at the clock, and you can already see that I'm kind of rushing myself because I want to get some good Week in Weeds for this week. The second headline coming to you in this Week's Weed, you've been hearing about the vaping issue, right? That a lot of people are attributing to the THC in vaping. Well, the CDC finally has made a breakthrough in identifying what the problem may be, or the likelihood of the problem. It's called vitamin E acetate. It was found in all the lung tissue samples that they have attributed to this e-vaping sickness. Vitamin E acetate. That is the only common factor in all these vaping cases. A lot of people attribute it to THC. Well, THC was only in 23 of the 29 samples, and nicotine was only detected in 16 of those 29 samples. The only thing that they found in all the samples was this vitamin E acetate. So anyway, what I'm getting at is they're making a conclusion. They're kind of figuring out what this vaping problem is. It's not necessarily the THC or how you combust the THC. It's actually the chemicals in them. Vitamin E acetate. So be careful out there, guys.
How does that affect the body, though? Vitamin E acetate, what is that?
Vitamin E acetate is actually found in a lot of things, in supplements, in pills, cosmetics, and obviously vaping products, right? So it's not, oh my God, vitamin E acetate, but it's just in this form, in the way they use vitamin E acetate in the vaping process, it is probably the toxin of concern.
As I hit my vaping pen into the camera. What's crazy though is what I've been seeing is it's from sketchy ass places, man. You gotta know where it's coming from. Like, I know where mine come from. I know the company. I've looked up the company. And they're like, what's a good warning is the prices are too good to be true, bro. Like, it's 2 gram cartridges that are like $60 to $80, but you can get 2 for $40. No one ever would
give
do
it
that.
free out weed.
Yeah.
Exactly. see money.
Be careful, man. It's scary.
Yeah, as I finish this one out, guys, there's a big difference of putting E-acetate on your skin, right? You're not or swallowing it a pill or smoking it. So again, it's just the way it's introduced into our body that's probably the likelihood. They gave it a name, by the way, this disease. They're calling it EVALI, short for e-cigarette and lung injury, L-I, lung injury, EVALI. That's what they're calling the disease. So the likelihood, vitamin E acetate.
What they're saying is vitamin E, like you mentioned, found in many supplements when consumed or in contact with the skin is fine. It's when it's inhaled that it causes lung issues. So this is not new information. This is probably stuff that the creators of this e-juice probably already knew. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's legal ramifications coming down eventually.
Yeah, we'll see, guys. All right, moving on, guys. Yeah, and I only really have time for one more. So I'll do it on a high note, pun intended. Many times before in the Week in Weed, we have talked about how many cities specifically, but states as well, are releasing nonviolent marijuana criminals or people who have been convicted of crimes. They're expunging their records and setting them literally free from one day to another. Well, Oklahoma is the next one to join that list. More than 450 Oklahoma inmates are walking out of prison doors, guys. And it's literally the largest single-day mass commutation in U.S. history. And that's why it's this third headline here this week, guys. 450 people might not sound alike, but just literally at once have their record expunged. It is a little crazy, unprecedented, and hopefully sets a precedence for all these other states and cities who are thinking of doing the same. We can't have a product now in America where people are literally making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars while you have people sitting in jail for the same thing. All right, if it's legal now, then they didn't do a crime now, so they should be set free. I hope that makes sense. And that's it, guys. That's your third headline. It's a big deal. I hope that more people follow their lead. And big ups to Oklahoma and the South. When things happen with marijuana over there on the positive side, it's a good sign of the trend of America, because those are the conservatives, man. Those are the people who are hard stuck on the old ways, and now they're changing their ways. So big ups to them, and big ups to you guys. Hashtag the Week of Weed. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're finding it instructive and informative. We'll be back, guys. Roll up our heads.
Hey guys, this is TC1, and when I stay in Orlando, I like to stay at the Quality Suites over on International Drive. They are amazing properties, simple rooms in an all-suite hotel with outdoor pool, a restaurant, plus free Wi-Fi and a shuttle. Guys, give them a call at 407-363-0332. They're located at 7400 Canada Ave, Orlando, Florida, 32819.
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. The Type View Show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom Braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373. The Tribia Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator rights. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is theairboats.com.
The Podheads Web Show presents Pioneers in Pot. Ethan Nadelman, the founder of Drug Policy Alliance, a nonprofit organization working to end the war on drugs. He is known for his criticism and commentary on U.S. and international drug control policies. Widely considered the face of the legal cannabis movement, Ethan Nadelman has been a staunch advocate for less restrictive cannabis laws. Throughout his career, Nadelman has pushed for legalizing the use of cannabis for medical purposes, regulating recreational use, and imposing civil rather than criminal penalties for those detained for possession of the drug. Nadelman's platform has shed light on America's failed war on drugs, citing disastrous implications for marginalized communities, exploding prison populations, and how its effects have fueled a breakdown in community and law enforcement relations. His arguments have converted politicians and policymakers on both the left and the right. For over 20 years, Nadelman has fought for the 420 friendly everywhere. Put one in the air for Ethan Nadelman, a true pioneer in pot. All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Podheads. Thanks for sticking with us, folks. Hashtag Weed Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. here on WJHM102jams.com. Check out the website. You can see awesome shows like DNA Podcast, Tiberius Show, our show. You can also download episodes for future listens. One thing that's really cool that's coming down the pipeline is an app. It's in beta right now, so we're just testing it out. But there is a really kick-ass app that you can download where you can listen to all your favorite shows, including here, the Podheads. So that's cool. Otherwise, look for us anywhere else you get your podcast at. The Podheads Web Show will be there. And don't forget to follow us on social media as well at the Podheads. That's Podheads with a D, Podhatds. Anyway, shout outs real quick to Vor hooking us up with beer. C Money got another, what's the name of it? Ugly Seltzer Water?
Yeah, it's a company called Ugly Sparkling Seltzer and Energy Drinks. It's pretty awesome and delicious. I'm not an advocate for that stuff normally because I hate fake sweeteners and sugar and all that stuff because it's just bad for you. We all know that. But this company seems to be doing it right. It's on our Instagram. It's on their Instagram. They tagged us. Ugly, yeah, shout out to them for sure.
Cool, yeah, for sure. So, guys, we wanted to talk about the mistakes. I don't know what to call this. Mistakes, idiots. Let's call it miseducation. All right, misinformation. And I read a story over the weekend that just had me dying because we talk about things like this all the time. Conversely, C Money brought up a story that made me feel the exact opposite for the same reason. Well, we found out NBA star Dion Waiters. He's an NBA champion, right, with the Heat. Played with LeBron James and Chris Bosh and all of them. Had a seizure. Had like a medical emergency on the team plane heading back home. He had a seizure because he, I guess, OD'd. I guess, and I don't want to, you know what, I use that term loosely because I don't want anyone ever thinking you can OD on weed. But the guy ate too many THC-infused gummies and had like a seizure.
Yeah, he had a real bad reaction. And it's not just he had 5 gummies, bro.
Like,
he
had
had
5 packs of gummies.
Probably like 5 bags of this really over-the-top idiot move. He just had a bad trip, and his physiological reaction to the bad trip was a goddamn seizure. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, I talk about it all the time how the gummies and the edibles don't affect me like they affect some people, you know. Well, I can see myself or anybody sitting there saying, "Well, let me take more until I start feeling them." You know what I mean? But I have personally been in that situation and said to myself, nah, I'm not trying to have some kind of bad reaction. If it says don't take no more of these, I've already took a few 100 milligrams. If I'm not feeling nothing, whatever. It's just not for me. This guy's probably sitting on the plane just popping them back like freaking, you know.
Like the regular goddamn
like
gummies.
Yeah.
Bro. And again, education. That's what we're really talking about in this segment is weed education. He had no wisdom about it, had no education. It's not like you can't just eat a gummy and expect to feel it instantly. The digestive system alone takes 30 damn minutes to hit your bloodstream.
While you're up on an airplane, a few thousand feet in the air, your blood's thinner and it metabolizes different.
So there you go. So once it finally hits you, it hits you like a goddamn bullet train.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
so
bro.
he passed out, right? So go ahead, C-Money, my bad.
I was going to say, the information's out there. You can literally Google, and I'm not saying this is 100% accurate information, but you can Google what's a recommended dose for a THC gummy, and it will literally say anywhere between 10 to 20 milligrams should be a perfect dose. And this guy probably ate 500, 800. I mean, who knows, dude? Yeah, bro.
To Frank Tank's point, if you take the recommended expert dose and it does not affect you, it is not for you. It's just not for you. It affects everybody differently. It affects everybody differently. And when I was searching that same question, like, what's the physiological answer here? Like, why does it affect everybody differently? I found a freaking study, and of course they use rats. They use rats a lot on medicines and chemicals to see how it affects their brain specifically. Well, I'll give everybody their credit. Stephen Laviolette, a PhD doctor. This is his quote. Until now, it was unknown which specific regions, right, of the brain was responsive to the different effects of marijuana. Well, they gave THC marijuana to rats, and what they found was that it showed that THC, which is the main psychedelic there, if the rewarding effects happen in the most frontal part of your body, conversely, THC also affects a different part of your brain that has negative effects, and the rear part of this produces highly adverse effects to a lot of people. Okay, emotional systems, anxiety. C-Money said it earlier. A lot of people have anxiety attacks when they smoke. So basically, what the findings are is this: they're important. That's why people have different experiences. Some people say more positive effects. More people have more negative effects. It depends on your brain, whatever that may be, is the effect of THC on you.
So it affects everybody differently. You can't sit there and just kind of rubber stamp it and say it affects everybody one way. So don't blame the drug. Blame the idiot that can't control himself and eats a freaking pound of gummies.
And don't feel bad either. It's genetics, bro. There's very little you can do about it. You might try to push through the weed and maybe get through it, but it's just you. It's your genetic variation in those parts of your brain. It is what it is.
Yeah. And the big issue here is education. You know what I mean? People are just not educated. I liken it to right after booze was made legal, right? People were probably all having all kinds of new experiences and mistakes, and we're growing as a culture now. But the big problem is that the people who should be educated on this aren't educated on this. C-Money told me about this story right here in my backyard. Lady at Disney World, old lady, grandma, in fact, gets arrested.
Yeah, so definitely the word of the day is education and awareness. That's why this show exists, to be honest. So what happens is Disney World, one of my favorite places to go on vacation, in the backyard of most of our listeners. Yeah, this grandma, literally a grandma, is, I guess, informing whoever, security or whatever, at the turnstiles outside of Magic Kingdom that she has a CBD oil pen. Leave it up to the incredible officers, I guess. They are doing their job so well, working so hard. They arrested this poor woman under suspicion that it might be something illegal inside the vape pen. Now, there's no way to tell there on the spot. There's absolutely no way. I don't even think there's a way to test for it to begin with. And I don't know about my hosts or anyone listening, but I have brought vape pens into Disney plenty of times. Especially ones that aren't nicotine. So F you, Disney. That's right. People do it all the time. And we spend tons of money in your damn place, so get over it to begin with. What's the big deal? But this poor woman, dude, the videos all over social media, she's literally being arrested in handcuffs. Imagine your grandma being arrested in handcuffs. She's literally like, I don't even know what to do. Do I get inside the car? She gets inside the car. She starts having a panic attack. She gets claustrophobic, blah, blah, blah. Now they're calling for a bigger thing to come pick her up and take her to jail. At that point, you couldn't just let her go? Bro, I never get mad at news stories, but this actually made me very angry. This poor old woman, and she gets arrested.
It should make you angry, for one, because it's legal federally across the board everywhere. Okay? She came up to you. She didn't know, we're talking about education. She wasn't educated enough to know that she didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah, grandma.
She went and said, I'm just going to make sure that I'm good. And the cops, being uneducated, decided, I'm going to arrest you, grandma, because that's probably illegal. And it wasn't.
CBD for her arthritis, this poor woman, so she can enjoy the day and walk around that park and all that, and she gets arrested.
Spend money, too.
I hope she sues the hell out of them. And goes back to Disney and, I don't know, just flaunts it or something. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's horrible, dude. Florida, DUH for sure. Like, what's with this state, bro? I don't get it.
I'm not going to let you get away with it, Frank, because there was a news story in New York very similar to this, too. And I know you're from New York, right? All over the media, too. These cops made a huge bust, and I put those in quotations, like 50 pounds of quote-unquote weed. Long story short, it turns out to be CBD hemp. Legal.
100% legal.
Legal. 100% legal. So they made these busts, made some arrests.
Bragged all over social media. Yeah. Think about Super Troopers. It was just like Super Troopers with the weed all piled up. Guys are taking action poses with shotguns and whatnot. Look at, we're gangbusters, we're drug busters. And it turned out to be all hemp. Just people are just not educated about this. Laws are changing. The culture is changing about it. But the places that are the most important, the authorities, they're not getting the damn memo. And it's leading to the poor. This was a business guy. The owner of the business or the transporter got arrested over this, over that bust in New York. Poor granny, just trying to spend the day at Disney with her family, gets arrested for this. I mean, come on. When is it going to stop?
The amount of tax money that went into that bust, quote unquote.
Yeah, so a lot of wasted tax money, a lot of wasted time, tax money, so a lot of waste here. And again, you said it, the people that matters the most, it's like they're not seeing the change. Like we're talking about, probably the next president of the United States will change the status of marijuana in this country. You got to start arresting people for legal CBD in this damn country. Get educated, get your wisdom right, and do what you're supposed to do, which is serve and protect. Guys, looking at the clock, it's time for a break. # Weed Wednesdays. We're the Potheads, guys. We'll be back with what burns C Money's high.
Oh, Hester Burkhalter was accused of trying to take drugs into the Magic Kingdom after CBD oil was found in her purse. Now, attorneys Ben Crump and Michelle Rayner say they're planning on a lawsuit on her behalf. They say they intend to sue both Disney and the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. See David Smith Law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help people.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
The website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
The Type Beard Show would like to thank one of our awesome sponsors, SlutChannelUS.com. These guys are very, very cool. They bring 21st century surface drainage solutions to reality. They can do corporate and government work. These are the guys that make roads and bridges safe in the rain. You can see all about them at SlutChannelUS.com. That website again is SplotChannelUS.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at OakRidgeGunRange.com.
All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Potheads. It's your boy JB Perez with Frank the Tank and C Money. I'm bringing you back in because it was my turn. If you know how the show goes, it was my turn to do the drug screening, but I slacked off. I was doing some other stuff, probably smoking too much. And C Money decided to take on the responsibility. So it's time for hashtag the drug screening.
Did you ever see Son of a Woman?
Yup.
You ever seen Son of a Woman on weed?
You may have seen him before, but you've never seen him like this. We've scoured the archives in search of some of the worst movies just to bring you the hidden nugs that were made better by Bud. The Podheads Web Show presents The Drug Screening.
All right, everybody. And as JB said, he slacked this time, but luckily I had a safety net. But luckily for me, because I would have forgot too, because it's the season. You know, it's mid-November now. I feel like it's safe for me, so I give the green light to everybody to start doing some Christmas stuff, getting into the spirit. If you were doing it in October, get out of my life because you're ridiculous.
Just wait.
Yeah, just wait. So one thing that I got into years ago was Trailer Park Boys. Now, that might be ironic to you because it's about three white dudes from Canada and I'm a white guy and, you know, it's just funny. And I actually got banned off Facebook for calling someone white trash, which is ironic because that's exactly what these guys are. It's super hilarious. It's about three, as I said, guys who live in a trailer park. They're petty criminals and they just do the most ridiculous, stupid things to try to make some ends meet and not go to jail. But they go to jail at the end of every season of the show, which is funny. And they just do like a parody of how jail in Canada is just so relaxed and nicer than in America. And they get like lobster and some stuff on Christmas and things like that. Whereas like in here, they probably get gruel, probably still to this day, who knows. But what it is, obviously, they made a movie and it's an Xmas special. So the three of these guys, they try to do petty crimes to make ends meet. And as I said, it's a trailer park. So they all bang each other's girlfriends and they all just are sleazeballs. And there's the trailer park supervisor who's a total drunk. And if you read the comments on Netflix that house this show, if there are people that live in trailer parks that comment and go, they portrayed every aspect of trailer park life. Because there is the drunk, there is the one who's nosy in everyone's business, there is the dumbass, there is the whatever. And it's just amazing. The one guy, Ricky, played by Rob Wells, is super stupid. He's a little illiterate, dyslexic, comes up with the dumbest plans ever. The other guy, Julian, he's kind of the big jack dude who comes up with the plans. He's the brains of the operation. And then there's this other guy named Bubbles who's like the nice, innocent dude who tries to be middle ground between the two of them. And like I said, hilarity ensues. For instance, the one guy's dad scams the unemployment office for like 30 years claiming disability, and he's not. And there's a white rapper that I guess is a parody of Eminem who's total just ridiculous and tries to be an MC, and he wears, yeah, it's amazing. So again, Christmas special, as you can imagine, all hilarity ensues. They try to steal presents out of other cars at the mall to get presents for the people in the trailer parks. The Christmas trees they sell to the people in the trailer parks are all stolen. I mean, it's just amazing, guys. It really, truly is.
Okay. the Trailer Park Boys, and we're specifically talking about the X-Men special because I'm Googling it, and this Trailer Park Boys is a bunch of different stuff. Not only shows, but a bunch of different movies, too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yes. They're all over the place. These guys.
They're all, they're
all over the place. Stuff. And this one specifically for the drug screening was good because the Christmas special in particular that I'm talking about was made in, I think, the late 90s. So
no,
a lot of people
04.
probably...
It was made in 04.
Okay, I'm sorry. But even still... a lot of people haven't seen it. And I promise you, at first glance, the show is going to seem incredibly dumb and stupid, but it's kind of like The Office. At first, you're like, what the hell is this about? But you got to listen to the dialogue. You got to learn some of the characters, and then it becomes funny. So just trust me on this. Get baked, watch the movie, maybe bake some cookies. I don't know what the hell you do, and watch the Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, I find stupid jokes. I find stupid jokes a lot funnier when I'm baked, so that's definitely the plan.
Yeah. So enjoy, guys. Let me know what you think.
And that's the point of the drug screening, man. Yeah.
Appreciate you, but I'm gonna kick it right back to you, right? Because it's your turn. It's time for What Burns C Money's High.
Hey buds, this is Making C Money from the Podheads web show. Welcome to my segment called Burns My High. This is a segment where I vent to my fellow peers, listeners, and friends about what irritated me since the last time we came together. Usually everyday life dealing with everyday people. I'm a Sicilian from New Jersey and I've just been told that I'm funny when I rant and rave. So this is what bothered me since the last time I got together with you guys.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me on one of my favorite and most important segments because I need to vent just like every human needs to vent, right? Work sucks sometimes, life sucks sometimes, and it just helps. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bonding moment for all the stoners out there. So I came across this the other day, and I know I'm way behind on time because it's probably been out for a while, but to me, it's just ridiculous that it exists. My co-host may even know. I don't know. Did you know that Kim Kardashian has an app where it's like a game and you be her and you live her life and you make decisions in the game, bro. It's been years. That shows I'm really proud of the fact that I'm so out of touch with all that nonsense that I'm just finding this out in 2019, almost 2020. Bro, she makes millions of dollars off this app because of the in-game purchases and this and that. I mean, bro, I don't live the most exciting, influential life yet, but there's got to be other more important things, a human being with all the things we can do with your life than play that game and spend money and make her money doing it. And you're literally her. I don't even think you be your own. It's not like an RPG where you make your own character and you get a job. You got to be on her level, you know? You play her and just go, should I go out with Kim or should I go out with Chloe? Where should I go? And you click one. Should I wear a purse with this? Click one. Like, dude. I don't get it, bro. And then comments are like, oh, it's the best game ever. I absolutely love them and I love her. I hope I never meet or date a girl who is genuinely interested in what they do day to day. There are people, think about that. Go down the rabbit hole with me, my co-host. There are people that follow all of them, are so obsessed with what they do. They comment, girl, that's the best purse. Girl, fuck him. He's a dick. Girl. But, you know, like just all that kind of stuff. I just don't get. Now, I praise Kim for one thing, and that's for getting those guys out of jail because that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, shall we, how she exploded, pun intended, in the first place to become a big name. And I mean, it was a sex tape. I mean, let's just be blunt. That's how I even heard of her to begin with. So let's not forget, shall we, how all of that started. Lucky enough for her, she did something cool, like get those guys out of prison.
I was actually thinking about the Kardashians a couple weeks back because I personally have seen less and less of Kim Kardashian, and I think it's because of your point, Simona, because she's actually doing something good for a change. The whole Kardashian family is a shock value. I mean, the dad is a her now. Jeez. The mom was with O.J. Simpson, you know, who probably had a love child, right? It's like a sitcom. It's like a show. The whole family is a show. The whole Lamar Odom thing, all the sex tapes with all the guys, you know, with Kim Kardashian. So you see, it's more like a show, and I think that's why people still care. But again, you're seeing less and less of Kim, me personally, because I think she's actually doing something good for a change. So what does that really say about us or the media or social media in general?
It is ironic, I guess, that you brought up a good point, because if someone's like a little spoiled But then with all their riches and money they inherited or did a sex tape or whatever they did to start the foundation, but then they wound up doing a lot of good for the world. I guess what do you really say? But I guess also, to be the devil's advocate, there are most people that don't do anything with it, and they're just little, yeah. Lucky enough for her, like I said, I guess she wound up doing good things. But you brought up the dad too, and she is just another basket case, because again, let's not forget, shall we, when she was a he, that he killed someone by not paying attention while driving his car. Let's just any one of us would still be in jail for doing what he did, or she, or I don't know. I don't even know. So, yeah, amazing. That's not even, I'm not even going to get started with that. I think there's like 90 something different pronouns now you can address someone by. It's weird, dude. We live in a weird world. I don't know. CrossFit. That's on my list too. My sister has herniated discs right now because she's special and has to do these ridiculous, just primal, nonsensical twists and turns with obscene weights and all this crazy stuff. And I told her, dude, years ago, I go, bro, why can't you just lift weights, eat right, and do normal people things? Go climb and hike mountains, go run on the beach. No, she got to do CrossFit. Yeah, well, the day came. She herniated a disc. She'll never be the same again now. Stupid. What do you guys think about CrossFit? I mean, it's nonsense, dude.
I don't know if it's nonsense, bro. You were just working out extra hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think the theory behind it is keeping your heart rate at a target the entire workout, which is supposed to be max fat burn, you know. I don't know if I'd say CrossFit, but I superset, and I've done things like that to kind of keep my heart rate up, depending on what my goal was particularly. But and I get what you're saying when some people just take it a little too far. There's always that guy or that group of people in the gym that are, what are you training for, dude? NASA astronauts aren't even doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So I get what you're talking
They're doing
about.
it for show.
To go home and take a shower. That's what they do. That's what they train for. There's some awesome parody show that did a parody of CrossFit, and I don't know where it is. It may have even been a YouTuber. But it was hilarious, dude. He goes, all right, so CrossFit session number 1. And he's just like screaming like, ah! And he's just throwing weights over the room. And he's just like, but there are things that I've seen my sister do where I'm no doctor or whatever, but I look at the position and I go, that cannot be good for your knee, your back, your this, your that. Because it's just the way they're doing things with this weight, bro. It's like, that just can't be. Oh, well, look, you herniated your disc. And now I got to bring her soup 3 times a day. Like, bro. I can't. I hate my life sometimes, bro. And last but not least, I just wanted to say that some churches are a scam. I know that's totally out of left park here, but my mom says to me the other day, she's like, I was like, where are you going so early? She's like, I'm going to church. I'm like, why? She's like, because I'm broke and I need to pray for money. And I'm like, all right, so you're going to pray to God that you need money, but you're going to give tithing church donation money to the church that's going to pay for the priest's new pinky ring. I'm like, you have no money, but you're going to go give them some money to pray that you maybe get some money. I said, Mom, I can't deal with this right now. I'm going back to bed. So I just can't do it, dude. It's been a great day. I'm going to smoke some more weed. Shout out to Walt Disney World for arresting that poor old lady. And I'm out, guys. Till next week. Bye.
For shame. That's it, guys. You heard what burns C Money's high. One of my favorite segments. And I'm glad it's cathartic for you, sir. But that's it for now, guys. We'll be right back with some higher learning. It's the Podheads.
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org. The Type View show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom Braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373. The Tribia Show would like to thank Buggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com.
Hey buds, welcome to yet another edition of Sea Munchies, where I bring to you the latest and greatest everything food to satisfy those cravings after a blaze session. Last week I brought you applesauce. Guess what? This time it's apple cider. Let's get right into it. It's almost the same exact recipe, but obviously the cider is just so bomb for a super cold day or night. You come home after work, you're freezing, you're stressed out. There's nothing like a welcoming, warm apple cider batch. So, store-bought cider. We're not going to get fancy here. I don't ferment my own apples. Let's get real. Store-bought cider, your favorite one. You're going to need about 5 cups. You're also going to need orange juice, lemon juice, Saigon cinnamon, a cinnamon stick, and 3 apples, a McIntosh, a Granny Smith, and a Golden Delicious. You're going to skin the apples and roughly coarsely chop them. Let's get some big chunks of apple in there. You're going to add 5 cups roughly of apple cider to the pot, the cinnamon stick, Saigon cinnamon to taste, just a couple drops of lemon juice, a splash of orange juice. You don't want these juices to be overpowering in the cider. You don't really want to taste them up front. You want to taste them on the back end of your palate. That's why we're only doing a little bit. And you're going to add the apples. Now you're going to bring it up to a boil and reduce it immediately down to a simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes. The goal here is to get those apples nice and soft, because those become a treat you eat with a spoon either before or after you're done drinking. They become infused with all of these different ingredients and layers of flavor into the very fibers of the apple, and it's delicious. Let me know what you think, guys. Serve it in a mug with a spoon. So delicious. You can even add a little caramel or butterscotch to send it over the edge. Tag me at Making Sea Money on Instagram and Twitter. Send me DMs, pictures, tag me, whatever. I want to see what you guys come up with out there in the world. Making Sea Money from the Podheads Web Show, guys. See you next time.
All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Podheads. Thank you, Sea Money, for another awesome edition of hashtag Sea Munchies every Wednesday here on the Podheads. Hashtag Weed Wednesdays. And one more hashtag for you. Hashtag higher learning, because it's that time again, guys. We're going to get our edumacation on. So get your pen and pad on, grab a seat. It's time for higher learning. That's right, folks. I am smarter than you, and if you think not, come and find me on social media at Podhead Frank. Or just look for the Podheads at Podheads Web Show, PODHEADS, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Shout out to everybody who has been following, liking, reaching out to us on social media. You guys are all really freaking cool. Also, shout out to Tavor, awesome beer company. Guys, if you're looking to get beer from all over the United States, 47 different states, I believe, see money. Tavor is your app, Tavour. Download the app, use the promo code PODHEADS, that's PODHEADS, and save yourself $10. So do that quick. I don't know how much longer that promotion is going to be running for, but it is pretty awesome. We also got some pretty cool videos on our Instagram trying them out, so if you want to check it out, really cool. I love the ones that are boozy. Me and the girl ordered a 12%. I can't remember the name of it, but we've got a few coming to keep us warm during the cooler months. So anyway, higher learning, guys. We're going to do facts because it's the Marine Corps birthday, because it's my damn segment. We're going to do facts about the United States Marines, my beloved Corps, your beloved Corps. Here we go. Facts about the Marine Corps. A couple of shout-outs. This is not really a fact, but I do want to put one in the air for Jason Dunham. This is a Marine corporal that saved 2 fellow Marines in Iraq. He was actually in Iraq when I was in Iraq, and I remember hearing about this scuttlebutt through the ranks. I believe he was nominated for the Medal of Honor, but Corporal Jason Dunham, he's a Marine corporal who saved 2 Marines in Iraq by covering a live grenade with his helmet and body. It did kill him, if I remember the story correctly. This is based off of what I remember. He lived for about 2 days in the hospital before he died. I think he was in a coma because a piece of shrapnel got lodged in his forehead. But poor guy saved other Marines. That takes all kinds of dedication to jump on a grenade to save your buddy.
Damn hero for sure.
Yeah. Drew Carey served 8 years in the Marine Corps. If you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
What?
Yes,
the comedian,
sir.
dude?
Yes, the comedian.
Wow.
Smedley Butler. Smedley Butler actually almost named my dog after this guy. But Smedley Butler is one of 2 Marines to win the Medal of Honor twice, which is pretty crazy considering how hard it is to win the Medal of Honor.
With one?
Yeah. Anyway, Smedley Butler wrote a book in 1935 called War's a Racket. It was a bestseller describing how wars exist to enrich corporations. And we spoke about that earlier in the show. Pretty
What
crazy.
a hero right there. 2-time Medal of Honor and smart as hell. Saw through all the smoke, bro.
Yeah, bro. Marines. 3 years after illegally joining the Marines at the age of 14. Here's a gut check for you. Jacqueline Lucas snuck onto a ship bound for Iwo Jima. And if you know, Iwo Jima was one of the bloodiest battles in Marine Corps history. He stormed the beach without a rifle and threw himself on top of 2 grenades to protect his team. He survived this and earned the Medal of Honor at the age of 17.
What? I've never heard of that
Jacqueline
story before,
Lucas.
and that is lunacy. Like, who? Where are your parents, first of all?
Right.
And what kind of 14-year-old has the balls, the internal fortitude, like, to sacrifice himself? That's what he was doing. 15-year-old was going to sacrifice himself for another person. That's goddamn hero.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I wouldn't be doing that at 15 years old.
No. Oh,
you know
damn.
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. What is your life? Anyways, sorry.
Hardcore, bro. Hardcore.
Hardcore is what it is. That's right. Your life is
Yeah.
hardcore.
The Marine Corps has a project that they've been kind of working to perfect over the last few decades called Hot Eagle. And many people don't know that the Marine Corps are often referred to as the President's personal attack dog because they're the only branch of service that does not need an act of Congress to conduct war operations. So the way Hot Eagle is supposed to work is if the President makes a phone call, the Marines have to be feet on the ground, boots on the ground in that area within 2 hours. Which is pretty incredible if you think about 9/11. Within 2 hours, we had Marines on the ground in Iraq.
Freedom will come get you within 2 hour delivery right there, bro.
Yeah, better than Amazon, bro. Here we go. Chesty Puller, and my dog is named after this guy. My dog's name is Chesty Puller. Colonel Lewis B. Puller, or Chesty Puller, joined the Marines as a private, got promoted to a sergeant, and then became an officer, then got discharged, enlisted as a private, and became an officer again, retiring at lieutenant general. He also was awarded 5 Navy Crosses for his bravery in action in World War II.
Yeah, dude. Some people are just built differently, bro. I can't picture myself doing anything remotely close to anything like that, let alone twice over. You know? All these stories from these Marines, these guys are surviving and then doing it again because they're just built different.
Not even that. Not only can I not picture that, my luck would be I'm the guy that gets shot in the head as soon as the drop gate opens at Omaha Beach, bro. And I'm the meat shield on the ground. Just
That sucks. Yeah,
That's me. That's why I'm like,
luck,
I'm out. I wouldn't even have the opportunity to go out and
to be a hero
and do something heroic.
I'm shot by the stray RPG where the camera malfunction, glitch, or whatever, and the missile just takes a hard left and kills me. No, I'm out.
Yeah, I hear you. Are you guys familiar with Rob Riggle?
Rob
Daily
Riggle,
Show,
yeah.
SNL. He was in The Hangover.
Sure.
He was in Step Brothers, the Pow guy from Step Brothers. Rob Riggle's been in a lot of funny comedy movies. But did you know that Rob Riggle is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, retired lieutenant colonel who served 23 years deploying to Kosovo, Liberia, and Afghanistan?
Oh, that's Saddam Hussein wartime. So he was in some serious stuff. I actually thought he was in the Navy because in The Office, he makes a joke about him being in the Navy. So I just thought that was funny. But no, he was a badass, a badass Marine.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. That's a left turn of a career, huh? Badass Marine and then a comedic master. Pow!
Yep. Pretty crazy, huh? How about this one? A Marine horse named Reckless carried 9,000 pounds of ammo on her own during one battle in Korea. She received 2 Purple Hearts and was promoted to staff sergeant with a 19-gun salute. How about that?
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of stories. I find myself going through rabbit holes with these kinds of stories. The dogs. I read on the dog that went and just killed that the ISIS guy for Trump. It was a damn dog. So you'll find a lot of stories where animals play a huge part. I mean, a really decisive factor in a lot of battles. I'm sure this horse did too. But we're talking about dogs, pigeons, cats, horses, all sorts of things. Shout out to the animals.
Oh yeah. Here's one. Did you guys know that the Marine Corps was actually established before the United States was independent from the Brits?
Okay.
November 10th, 1775. The story goes that in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in a tavern, the Marine Corps raised 2 battalions to go off and help fight for independence.
Oh, okay. I see how that is. Yeah, so just a bunch of guys got together and said, all right, we're going to do this. Freedom's a coming, baby. And I think it's ultimately in all the branches of military, it's about that. It's the brothership. You're fighting for the guy next to you and your sister next to you, not for some old politician somewhere. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock, guys. It's time to go. Back to you, Frank.
Well said, JB. Very well said. You are fighting for that person standing next to you. I've been there myself. It's crazy. That's a conversation for another day, but we got to go, guys. It's the Podheads. Great time every Wednesday here. Always a pleasure. #Weed Wednesdays. JB?
Yeah, at the Podheads web show, guys. WJHM102jams.com is where we're at. I hope you had a good time with us today. Very informative episode today all the way around, guys. It was a good one. We love cannabis. I hope you do, too. And never forget, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. He was murdered. See money.
It is true. In fact, he did not. Thank you, JB. At Make and See Money at Podheads Web Show. Guys, tell everyone you know about this. The only way we can keep doing this is if you tell people to tune in and listen to us. It was a great time, very informative. Education was the word of the day. And remember, don't really play Kim Kardashian's app. You have better things to do. Make and See Money. We'll see you next time, guys.
My computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. See. DavidSmithLaw.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help people.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
The website again is CWSmithLaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
The Type Beard Show would like to thank one of our awesome sponsors, SlutChannelUS.com. These guys are very, very cool. They bring 21st century surface drainage solutions to reality. They can do corporate and government work. These are the guys that make roads and bridges safe in the rain. You can see all about them at SlutChannelUS.com. That website again is SlutChannelUS.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. To find